Now, some of you have been listening to this in some cases for years. So those of you that are new, understand, believe me when I tell you, every time you listen to this or you watch it, you're going to pick up something different, or something's going to be reinforced that you didn't think about before. And that's going to be a result of your experiences. You know, you're going to have, as you experience this, you'll look at this from a different perspective too, because you'll have some real experience of your own. Now, your progress has to be measurable. You can't be sitting there feeling good about yourself because you sat there for 3 hours and listened to me tonight. That's really not going to help. You've got to be able to measure your progress. And you can't think you're getting better. You either are or you aren't, and you need to know this. And the measure of your progress comes from your trade records. Don't waste your time and the money that you spent on this course and not keep trade records. If you decide at the end of the course that this isn't for you, whatever you pursue, you still better keep trade records, or you're wasting your time and your money. Regardless of the method that you choose to trade, if you don't keep trade records, you're delusional about what's going on. You have no basis for determining your success or your progress or your lack of success or your lack of progress. So the charge that I will give you is to, as fastidiously as possible, focus on the process and then record in as much detail as possible the details of every single trade you take. You know, I challenge some of you, or all of you actually, the very first session to keep records, and that if you kept your records and you send me those records, that we will review those trades in an individual session. I can help anybody trade better if they keep records. I can't help anybody that does not keep trade records. If you've been, I don't care how long you've been trading, I can't help you if I don't know what you're doing. And it doesn't, you know, the reality is you can't tell me what you're doing. I'm not going to believe you. I got to see it, because sometimes there's a big disconnect between what people think they're doing and what they're doing. Okay, now back to trade management. I have outlined the potential, you know, the trade potential, which is, that's where the inherent expectancy, the large inherent expectancy comes from, is from the trade location that gives us the opportunity for this outsized gain relative to the risk. If you're new to this, or even if you're struggling with it for some reason, go back and make things as rote as you can, so that you're not overthinking it, and you can focus on the basics, and then you can get into the minutia later. So you want to try to apply these concepts. If you're struggling with them, then work at trying to define what you're doing better. You know, cut back on what you're doing. Look for very specific certain things. Look for very specific setups. Now, the setup, obviously, when I will use that term, which I don't particularly like, is the ultimate end following identifying a market condition and market structure. Then the setup, that's where you trade. Now, I want to show you a hypothetical example of the forgiving nature of this methodology. And another really good idea is, if you have not traded this before, trade it on a simulator. Trade it on a simulator for 2 months and get used to it. Get used to sitting there and seeing what's going on. Now, obviously, I'm sure you know, you're well aware, you should be, that trading on a simulator and trading real money are two entirely different things. But trading on a simulator there's benefit to it before you trade real money. So this is a hypothetical example of, if you were to take 50 trades and you ended up losing on 2/3 of those trades, you could actually make money if you were just rote taking a 2 times your initial risk target. You'd make $112. Now, I understand that's not where you want to be, but the point of this is that you want to put yourself in a position where you're focusing on the process and you're not focusing on the money. And I want to show you that it would be difficult to hurt yourself badly if you're at least attempting to do this. Okay, and you can prove that to yourself on a well. You can get some solid anecdotal evidence from trading on a simulator. But this is an example of, and you're using this is the ES. You'd be using a 2+ handle risk, and then your target would be 2 times your risk. And you would have 65%, 2 out of every 3 trades you're losers. And you wouldn't hurt yourself.